Welcome back to Carson Tate's video log. I'm in sunny, getting slightly cooler Provincetown during Women's Week, and I have with me the famous Andrea Bramhall. Yes?
Bramhall, yes.
Bramhall. Bram.
However you want to say it, my dear.
I want to say it right.
Bramhall.
Bramhall. Okay, that's it. That's all I've got, right?
Fine.
No, I'm kidding. Come back here. All right, so you have 2 books currently published.
Yes.
With Bold Strokes, but then you have more on the way.
Yes, I've got Nightingale, which is due out in May, and we don't have the release date yet for Nightingale. Late 2014, early 2015.
Excellent. So your first book was Ladyfish, and that was scuba diving, intrigue, romance, exactly.
Yeah, that sort of shit.
And your second book, Clean Slate, also romance, very unique story.
Yes, it's the story of Morgan Masters who gets clunked on the head. It's quite beaten up, really. Wakes up thinking that 49 years ago she's actually 19.
It was very interesting. That had required a lot of thought about like what would be around then.
It's thinking back to simple things like cell phones and things like that. I mean, they were that big then.
Yeah.
You couldn't send text messages on them or anything. And now Morgan wakes up and her kids are playing around with iPhones and taking photos of them. And it's like,
what are you doing?
Yeah, exactly. So it's huge differences, but not only that, the person that you are will be completely different because everything that makes you the person you are, you just don't know that.
Yeah, it was a fascinating story. It was a great romance and very uniquely told because they had to find love again, basically. And then there was suspense and intrigue as well. There's some.
There is, yeah. I like that idea. I wanted to come at this different because there's a lot of amnesia stories where people around the victim have secrets. But I thought, what if the person who has amnesia has the secret?
And doesn't really remember.
And nobody else around her knows what that secret is.
Yeah.
So that kind of really intrigued me.
So where do you get the ideas for your stories?
All over the place, literally. The idea for Ladyfish came from a scuba diving holiday that my partner and myself went on. The idea for Clean Slate, my grandfather has Alzheimer's disease, so I was thinking a lot about the way memories and how that affects not only the victim but the families around that. And kind of dealing with those issues as they came up. Nightingale, now this is a real tricky story. That's one I've been actually thinking about on and off for about 8 years,
but
I
wow.
could never quite figure out how I was going to make it work. And then I was talking to my partner over dinner one night, and she just kind of came up with this, what about this? And it just like went.
You're like, dinner's over, I have to go
later. Yeah, so it just kind of fell out from there. And then the next one that I'm starting to write now is called Curse of the Chameleon. And at the Nottingham Bold Strokes event, I was talking to a lady from South Africa who was drinking a glass of wine, and that's where the idea came from.
Excellent. So
Watch
you're just
this
kind
space.
of walking down the street. We're going to walk to the bookstore now, and you might get an idea for a book.
You'd be surprised.
And I'm going to steal it from you. So, a bit of personal information about you. You run a tour company.
We run a tourism company, yeah. It's a campsite and a hostel on the North Norfolk coast, which is just down the road from the Queen's Country Estates, darling.
Does she have you over for tea often?
We've been there a couple of times, but she keeps buggering off out.
Well, here's to tea with the Queen and to your next book.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for joining us. Andrea Bramhall. Bramhall!
It's lovely to meet you.
Lovely to meet you too. This is Carson Tate's video log, signing